to Jay-Z and his win that he garnered for also the diddler. Okay, this is the first win the diddler got in a long time, so he gonna indulge in it. Okay, but Tony Buzbee, the ambulance chaser that claims he had like over 100 cases against the diddler, and then he came out and said he had a case against Jay-Z. Now Jay-Z was windmilling from the very beginning, like this is not true and things like that. But Tony Buzbee, he gives me very calculated and manipulative, because he dropped that lawsuit on the premiere of Blue Ivy's movie Mustafa, and I just thought that was cruel. And right there, I was just like, well, from the very beginning, I kind of felt like he was out for the money. He's really not out for getting justice for the victims. He claimed he had minors that were making accusations against Diddy or whatever. And then I started noticing, as he rolled out his lawsuits, he had no evidence. He showed the same things over and over again. And so it just gave me like, he wasn't out for justice for the victims. He was really out to line his pockets. And Jay-Z called him out right away, was like he was trying to bamboozle him and shake him down for money. Because what he was hoping was like, by him putting these frivolous allegations out there, that people will scramble and get scared and don't want the story out there and just pay it off just to make it go away. Well, Jay-Z was not having it, okay? From the very beginning, he was not having it. Then he had the victim speak on a news report, and I just always thought her story had a lot of holes in them. Let me see. Please thumbs up this video, y'all. I just thought it was frivolous. Here we go. Let me give y'all a little refresher, a little reminder. Okay, this is the victim that came forward. This all falls under fair use. Shout out to ABC News. Let me speed this up.
Always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC.
And see, that right there, it gave me pause. Like, what friend was old enough to drive and was hanging and was hanging out to the point where she was driven 5 hours away and her parents didn't know that she was gone? It was just weird. It like, at the end of the day, her story was basically debunked, all right, because Jay-Z's lawyer had a whole press conference just like Buzby did or whatever, and debunked everything by showing where Jay-Z's whereabouts was, and even during that press conference with Alex Sparrow, that's Jay-Z's lawyer, he disconnected Jay-Z's relationship from Diddy, saying they were just business associates. Like, I just thought it was, sorry guys. Right, so it was debunked. The story was debunked right away. Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Sparrow moved for dismissal. Then the judge kind of pushed back, like, wait a minute, you're gonna go through the due process or whatever. Grown woman says Buzby has a reputation in Texas as being somewhat shysty. Exactly, and as a result, there's a lot of allegations have come out about Buzby. Grown woman says she was 13 and then she was raped by Jay-Z Diddler. Her dad drove 5 hours to get her. Show up, no signs of being distraught. Dad didn't remember picking her up. Right, it's a lot of holes in the story. And if my child went missing at 13, the first thing I'm gonna do is go to the hospital and have my kid checked out, right? And I'm gonna remember that happening. But the parents, her father didn't do anything about her running away, didn't press charges against the person that drove her all the way to the VMAs. Like, the story just didn't make sense. Grown woman says autism has many different forms. You can be high on the spectrum or slightly autistic. Yep. I knew that girl was a storyteller. Right. She's no different than the Jag liars out here in the world. Okay. I blame Jag liar for all it is. She has ushered in a bunch of people that think it's okay to lie on the internet to garner sympathy, monetary gain, and things like that. And they make it hard for real victims out there. And Tony Buzbee, he has made a lot of allegations and brought all these lawsuits forth with no proof, no evidence. Like, show me you went to the hospital as a result of this. Show me you went to therapy as a result of this. You know, give me some type of proof. And that's why I stopped, like, even reporting on all of his allegations. Well, as a result of Buzbee and his ambulance chasing, the accuser had to drop the grape lawsuit against Jay-Z and Sean Combs, okay? And I have a feeling this is going to, how can I say it? Damage Buzbee's reputation. No one's going to take the rest of his lawsuit seriously. Grown woman says she has a history of being a runaway. Exactly. All right. What's this? Shout out to BBC for this article. Let's jump into it. So a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, which alleged the rape of a 13-year-old girl in 2000, has been dismissed, according to legal filing submitted on Friday in New York. The attorney representing the anonymous plaintiff, referred to as Jane Doe, voluntarily withdrew the case, court records show. The filing was submitted by lawyer Tony Buzbee, who is representing dozens of plaintiffs in lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct against Mr. Combs. The filing states that the plaintiff hereby gives notice that the action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice, which means that she cannot file another case. All right. So because of the dismissal with prejudice, the lawsuit cannot again be refiled in its current form. Roc Nation, the entertainment company founded by Jay-Z, whose legal name is Sean Carter, issued a statement signed by him referring to the dismissal as victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed, he wrote. The civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional tale they created was laughable. It's not for the seriousness of the claims. The trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed, said the rapper. Exactly. They dropped this on the premiere of Blue Ivy. That is heartless. It's disgusting. So he continued, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally. Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Sparrow, emphasized in a separate statement that the case never should have been brought. I agree. The court system has to really do its due diligence to filter through these frivolous lawsuits, because you take away from the real victims. This is wasting the court's time. And I feel like it should be consequences for people who lie on people like this without no proof. And then what about the law firms that take on the cases without having any proof? Now, Tony Buzbee, I remember in his original press conference, he said he vetted these people accordingly. And then when the claims started to be debunked, he started backwalking and saying, oh, well, she was referred by another law firm. She wasn't vetted by it wasn't vetted by our team. And I just think that is really irresponsible. And I have like a bone to pick with people, especially the Limeshas that came out like just blatantly lying with no proof, and people give these people platforms. It's disgusting. But you know who debunked Tony Buzbee law's firm to me? Jaguar. But people play these internet games all the freaking time. She contacted him trying to make herself relevant. Like, at the end of the day, you've been lying and you've been exposed. And it's just like, go sit down. But she continues to be on this internet lying, and people still follow, and it's disgusting.
Things like that. And I know that the attorneys were wanting to speak to you, but I don't think that they knew how to get in touch with you exactly, or they had tried to. And I was just telling your producer, we received an email that everything was encrypted. They didn't say who they were, but they left this phone number.
Oh.
And it was pretty informative and a little different than normal. And so I thought I would call, and I'm glad I did. So, would it be okay if one of our attorneys calls you?
Like, they actually entertaining this foolery. Okay, you heard her in the very beginning say, oh, we've been trying to get in touch with you. This woman has been online lying for the past 5 years with no proof. People have just been going off her word. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, because the truth is, everything that's happening to your firm has been happening to my life for the past 15 years because of the Carters.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're somewhat familiar with everything that you've said. I know you've been online a long time.
Yes.
Talking about all of this.
Yes. So, trying to gain awareness.
Go ahead, ma'am.
No, I said just trying to gain, give the public some awareness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, so would it be okay if an attorney reached out? And
absolutely. We can talk on Monday. And you can just, it was lovely speaking with you.
This chick is unhinged.
You too.
Okay.
Okay, so Monday, did one of us call?
Yeah, it was a call back Monday.
That was the Tony Buzbee law firm.
Listen to what she's saying and things like that. And I know that the attorneys were wanting to speak to you.
Y'all heard it for yourself. They are entertaining this foolery. And this woman is on the run, been on the run. She's a wanted woman, okay? She's been out here lying through her teeth, all right? She's obsessed with SA. She falls out with everybody. She is currently now falling out with her so-called fiance, Slowdell, now. And now she putting SA allegations on him. Like, this woman is unhinged. And I can't believe a law firm of that caliber would entertain this foolery without any proof or anything. But you heard it in the beginning. Oh, we've been wanting to talk to you. Why? She's had no proof. She needs to be in jail. She needs to be in jail. All right. So as a result, look, Jay-Z said him and the Diddler ain't friends, but he garnered a win for the Diddler, which he needs right away. Okay. He needs some good press in his favor. But it's clearly that all these people are lying. All right. It's clear that Tony Buzbee is only trying to line his pockets. He does not have these victims, if they are even victims, best interest at heart. I feel like Tony Buzby saw an opportunity. Diddy is trending, being that he would, he's been locked up on his RICO and things like that. And he saw an opportunity to line his pockets. He does not care about the victims at all. Yes, grown woman said, I hope she's caught soon. She is a danger to everyone. Absolutely. She said they are just as crazy as she is. Absolutely. I wouldn't want Buzby to represent me for a traffic ticket. Me neither. Right. And you remember his original press conference, grown woman. He said, we vetted all these victims. I think they should be sued. I think Jay-Z should sue his law firm. Seriously. I don't think it's okay to bring civil lawsuits without any type of proof. Any type of proof. And if these people were victimized, can I get a witness? You told somebody, you sat down and talked to a therapist, you got hospital records and things like that. Like, I'm just tired of all these liars coming out. All right. And as a result of this, even I'll be sure, and the Gene Squills of them all. As a result of this, Diddy, and I spoke on this briefly the other day, but he is now filing his own lawsuit against all these networks coming out with documentaries about him. See, and people don't understand. Y'all mess around and get Diddy off, keeping all of this up. Shout out to Variety for this next article, okay? Y'all mess around. Gene Dill has lined his pockets. We don't know what he's saying is true. We don't know. But I started to see a lot of inconsistencies with Gene Dill. He saw and witnessed a whole lot of everything, but did nothing about it. And this man was a correction officer associated with gangs and things like that. So it's the contradiction of it all. So Sean Diddy Combs files a $100 million defamation suit against NBC, Universal, Ample, and Peacock over making of the Bad Boy docuseries. So Sean Diddy Combs has filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against NBC Universal, Peacock TV, and Ample Entertainment for defamation statements published in the documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. The lawsuit filed Wednesday in New York asserts that these media companies falsely and recklessly and maliciously accuse Combs of serial red rum, ex-trafficking, among other claims made by Albie Shore, Rodney Jones, who has filed his own lawsuit against Combs, and attorney Ariel Mitchell, amongst other sources. And I told y'all, Jaguar, her clips made it into these documentaries. Her conspiracy theories. All right. The documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, premiered on Peacock on January 14 and looks into multiple claims against the mogul, most prominently Combs' alleged involvement in the deletion of his former girlfriend, Kimberly Porter, in addition to Biggie, Andre Harrell, Heavy D, and attempted red rum of Albie Shore. Now, remember that famous clip of Jaguar. Hold on, let me find it. Please thumbs up the video. Mind you, she was not there for any of this stuff. She's just a storyteller. So remember this clip. This is the clip that made it into the documentary. I like to give reference. Okay, please thumbs up this video.
Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting? Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. You want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And I'll Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? Seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone. There's too many coincidences. Uptown Records started.
So, you know, I believe there is too many coincidences. And I see how she connected those dots. You see all these common things, right? But there's still no proof. There's still no proof. I mean, and it didn't stop there, because she then started making horrific accusations against Jay-Z. I mean, she went on the Piers Morgan show to talk about Diddy, and ultimately streamlined that into Jay-Z and Beyonce are traffickers, right? No proof, no allegations. And Piers Morgan had to immediately take that down, right? Alex Sparrow contacted the Piers Morgan group and had them take it down right away. But she's been making horrific allegations against people without any proof. If they did all of this, where are the police records? And mind you, Jaguar also admitted to ushering females to cater to these freak off parties. Like, if you ask me, she's a predator and she deserves to be in a jail cell next to the diddler. But she's been debunked on YouTube for being a liar, and she tried to backtrack. But this is a woman that's on the run. This is a woman that is wanted. Okay? She's made accusations that he's responsible for Aaliyah's death, Jay-Z. Okay? No proof, though. I mean, you're talking about years old crimes and conspiracy theories. It's disgusting. But I feel like these celebrities are going to start turning the tables, because at first they were just brushing it off like she's crazy and this and that. I feel like they're going to start suing these people, broke or not, suing them just so they could shut up. All right, let's get back into the article. Here we go. So Erica Wolf, Combs' attorney, issued a statement on a new lawsuit claiming these media companies made a conscious decision to line their own pockets at the expense of truth, decency, and basic standards of professional journalism. And I just thought, like, I'm surprised TMZ is not on there because they have their own documentary. All right, Wolf continues, grossly exploiting the trust of their audience and racing to undo their competition for the most salacious Diddy expose. Defendants maliciously and recklessly broadcast outrageous lies and Diddy, the making of the bad boy. In the purported documentary, defendant accused Mr. Combs of horrible crimes, including serial red rum, SA, of minors, knowing that there is no evidence to support them. In making and broadcasting these falsehoods, among other, defendants seek only to capitalize on the public's appetite for scandal without any regard for the truth and at the expense of Mr. Combs' right to a fair trial. Mr. Combs brings these lawsuits to hold defendants accountable for the extraordinary damage their reckless statements have caused. The lawsuit highlights an attempt is discredit individual sources. It also cites a Hollywood Reporter interview with co-founder of defendant Ample and an executive producer of the documentary, Ari Mark. The lawsuit notes that Mark acknowledged that the documentary was a rush job because of competing documentaries on the same project, saying there's no time and there was an extremely fast turnaround. Combs is seeking $100 million in damage for the severe reputation and economic harm caused by what he claims are false and defamatory statements. Okay. And you know what also I noticed? That 50 Cent, he not rushing to do his documentary. I think 50 gonna wait till after the trial. I just think a lot of people, because 50 announced that he was doing his documentary, I feel like they rushed to get ahead of it. But we know no new information. Look, at the end of the day, Diddy is innocent until proven guilty. And I think we are getting away from what his charges really are. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's just a freak. I don't see no proof so far. First of all, the Southern District of New York is not going to reveal their whole hand. They're going to wait until the trial to reveal what they have, right? Number two, I just want to make the point of this, Naughty Crew. You have to understand that prostitution is illegal. I say that all the time. And then when it comes to actually making them travel across state lines, that's when you get the trafficking. And then you also have the question of consent. If it's alleged that he's been rugging these people and things like that, and they're passed out and stuff like that, that's when you have the question of consent. Now, the Southern District of New York has now dropped or superseding charges, and they revealed that it is more victims that are coming forward and testifying. And that's why I can't stand Buzbee, because if you really cared about the victims, you'll be coordinating with the Southern District of New York to get justice for these victims. It's just a whole lot of foolery going on. I think it's quite disgusting, and it takes away from the real victims. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me see what y'all saying. Hey, Elite Leo, thank you for joining. Okay, Elite, and that's what Elite, I feel like this is what this leading to. Now that they got the case dismissed, I feel like Jay-Z is gonna now sue him. And he got the money and the time to do it, okay? So, because it's your reputation at the end of the day. That's just like someone falsely accusing someone of rape, right? And even though the person may get exonerated, that reputation follows you for the rest of your life. So Elite Leo says Jay-Z still has a lawsuit against Buzbee. They filed something new yesterday. It details how Buzbee fraudulent lawsuits affected him and his family. Right, rightfully so. I would say take it all the way. All the way. All the way. Elite feels like Diddy should have started countersuing a long time ago. I don't know why he waited so long to do so, right? Elise said, I knew Gene was lying because just like Jag, the story never end with him. There's no way he could have that many damn stories. He didn't even work with him full time, period. Grown woman said, I wish they'll find her and shut her up. Me too, child. She's an unstable creature. In the words of Great T, she's unstable and not to be believed at all. Jag needed to stop with this illicit affectation and just put it in a book and make a soundtrack, period. Elite said 50 said he ran into some issues with trying to do it. 50 is smart and a shrewd businessman. I think he's just going to wait it out. I feel like the rest of these outlets should wait it out. I feel like they should wait it out. I mean, he's still innocent. He's still innocent. Let's get into Jay-Z. Jigga, what's my motherfucking name? Jigga, and who you rolling with? My nigga. Niggas better read it right. Niggas better get it right. Who? Jigga. So as we all expected, Jay-Z has dropped a lawsuit against Tony Buzbee. And let this is just like the celebrities suing YouTubers. Okay, let this be a lesson to all these ambulance chaser attorneys out here bringing all these frivolous lawsuits out. Okay, and I am talking to the Tony Buzbees, the Ariel Mitchells, and the Tyrone Blackburn. All right, so let's get into Jay-Z. Oh, he is not playing because you know what? I could tell he was in his feels when this dropped on Blue Ivy's Mustafa's premiere. Shout out to the Jasmine brand. Jay-Z claims dismissed great accuser attorney Tony Buzbee sabotaged his appearance at Blue Ivy's Mustafa premiere in amended extortion lawsuit. So Jay-Z has reportedly made amendments to his extortion lawsuit against attorney Tony Buzbee, who represents Jane Doe in a now dismissed grape case against him and Diddy. So according to reports, Jay slammed Buzbee in the recent filing, accusing him of intentionally sabotaging his appearance at his daughter Blue Ivy's Mustafa the Lion King movie premiere by filing the lawsuit just a day before the big event. And absolutely he did. He had every intention. So shout out to the Neighborhood Talk. Jay-Z sues Tony Buzbee reportedly felt there was a GUN to his head after a false grape lawsuit was filed the night before Blue Ivy's Lion King premiere. Claims he lost $20 million in contracts and put me in a position between choosing to support my daughter or hiding to avoid negative press. Ciao. So Jay-Z has taken legal action against attorney Tony Buzbee, who represented a Jane Doe in a now dismissed lawsuit accusing him and Sean Diddy Combs of grape. The lawsuit, intentionally filed in October 2024, alleged that the two music moguls assaulted the 13-year-old girl at the MTV Video Music Awards after party in 2000. However, the case was voluntarily dismissed on Friday, February 14 on Valentine's Day. In a declaration filed in Los Angeles on February 10, Jay-Z, 65, claimed Buzbee intentionally inflicted emotional distress by strategically filing the lawsuit just before his daughter Blue Ivy Mustafa the Lion King movie premiere. I felt like this was very cold, callous, and calculated. And it showed me the character of Tony Buzbee. He argued that the time forced him to choose between supporting his daughter and avoiding negative media attention. And remember, he was very nervous and fidgety on the red carpet, had his hands in the pockets and things like that. He just did not look comfortable. Jay-Z also alleged that the lawsuit led to a $20 million loss in contracts and caused significant mental anguish. I felt that Mr. Buzbee was placing a GUN to my head that I either bow to his demands and endure personal and financial ruin, he stated. Months earlier, Jay-Z had sued Buzbee for civil extortion, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. While the initial lawsuit against him and Combs was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled, Jay-Z is pursuing legal action against Buzbee for the damages he claims resulted from the false allegations. Child, as he should. That's right, as he should. Get like stuff like this causes irreversible damage to people's reputation. Like, even if you're exonerated, people still are going to tie you to these allegations. And I hope he takes, this is defamation to a whole nother level. And clearly he had malicious intent by dropping this on the day of Blue. Because what does Blue Ivy got against the allegations of her father? I just feel like it's another clear man exploiting our community. And that's how I honestly feel. And he saw, I'm telling you, I don't even believe that all his cases have foundation. I believe that Jay-Z, by filing this lawsuit, it will question the merit and the dignity of his other cases. This is a clear man, a Caucasian, that is an ambulance chaser. And he saw an opportunity because he seen all the buzz that all the other attorneys were getting. And he created this whole sensationalized press conference. A whole sensationalized press conference. 1-800 numbers. Blew it out of proportion. Encourage people to call in. Remember this? This whole big deal? Mm-hmm. Oh, we vetted all the victims. Come to find out, he didn't even vet this victim. And he immediately scapegoat and said, oh, it came from another law firm, so we didn't vet this one. How are we going to trust that you vetted the other cases? And it didn't stop there. You had this woman go on a national news platform spewing lies, and clearly there were holes in her story. I say take him to the bank. You know, Jay-Z is a lot of things, all right? He's a shrewd businessman, ruthless, or whatever. But I say take him to the bank. Get everything, get all your money back. Thank you, grown woman. Get the likes up. It's free. It helps Naughty movement grow. Thank you. Yes, please get the likes up. I see people wash it in the bushes. I just need y'all to like the video, share it out. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Buzby has a reputation of being a clout chaser in Texas, right? And doesn't he have his own SA lawsuits giving women STIs and things like that? I think I read that somewhere. I think Jay will get off before Diddy. You know, Jay-Z moves a lot smarter than Diddy does, okay? Diddy had to always be in the forefront. He was an attention whore. Okay, he always had to be loud and proud, whereas Jay-Z is way more laid back. He's very quiet. I always say this on my channel, real gangsters move in silence. But he's way more laid back than Diddy, and he doesn't yearn for the attention that Diddy does. And ultimately, I think Diddy being an attention whore, that's what his downfall is, because it fed his ego. And then ultimately, he felt like he was invincible. Like he was untouchable. He's supposed to vet the client himself. I don't care if it got referred for someone else. You still have to do your due diligence. Look, that's just like let's just say I get a diagnosis and I start seeking a second opinion, right? And I go to the new doctor, right, for the second opinion. They are going to look at the reports from the previous doctor, but they're going to do their own examination, their own assessment, their own blood work, right? Their own scrutiny of the situation before they come up with a hypothesis, right? It's only right. Only a good, thorough doctor would do that. They'll run their own tests. You know what I mean? They'll look from things from their perspective. All right, grown woman, you think you net read it too, right? So it's the same type of situation. Lawyers have to do the same thing. Okay? They just can't go off the word of another attorney. Okay, they could have made a mistake. They could have missed something. They could have missed a case that they could have referenced to create segue for exoneration or whatever, or conviction or whatever, to just kind of leverage the case. He did it. He came out here loud and proud saying that he vetted all the clients. And he did not. He did not. And he made this whole to-do scene. He created 1-800 number. He brought Jane Doe's and John Doe's forward to the forefront. Without no proof, no evidence. I feel like his credibility is shot. Tony Buzbee's credibility is shot. And I say, Jay, go ahead. Go after your bag. Right, grown woman. And I look, I've talked about this on my channel. I suffered with fibroids for like 4 years, right? And it got so bad, it started affecting my lifestyle. So ultimately my doctor's like, look, I think we're to the point where we need to start considering surgery and things like that or whatever. I got second, third, fourth opinions. It's my life on the line. Ultimately, I won't be able to have any more children. That's a major decision. I don't take it lightly. You understand? So I went and got second, third opinions before I made my final decision. Like, you are not smart if you do not vet doctors, lawyers, and things like that. You're not a smart business person, or you're not smart about your health if you do not do that. So yeah, Tony Buzbee put his foot in his mouth ultimately, and he will have to pay. He will have to pay. All right, leave it in the comments. Let me know. I think he has every right to sue him, and it is what it is. Okay. Well,